Welcome into Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, JP, and we just had a little treat dropped off.
That was exciting.
Our wonderful landlord.
Is that what we call him now?
He's our friend.
The guy downstairs.
He lets us have space in his building. And we are so grateful. Happy Monday, everybody. It's Christmas week. We made it. I hope you guys are listen, based on the amount of traffic I had on the way here today, y'all are all out shopping, which is great because we will be the soundtrack of your shopping life this week. So you're welcome in advance. Allison, JP, how was your weekend?
Family gonna family.
Well, that was pregnant with meaning.
It was so much fun. I was so tired by the end of the week, but we had our huge Sinclair family Christmas party Friday night. So I left early to go there. Of course, they told me everybody was there except me, and I get there and like a third of the people are actually there.
Like I heard them say that. They lied. You're saying your family lied.
But
okay.
the problem is I'm always late. So I guess it was probably a good thing. But then, like everybody's so... Does everybody just kind of fall back into their same roles when y'all are with your family? Like you kind of can expect, how everybody's going to act. And like every year, the people that sign up to bring appetizers are the last ones there. So everybody's hangry and everybody's like really frustrated. And then this year, see, we're just like a bunch of rednecks. We're just good old rednecks, and just want to hang out and be there. And the people that bring the appetizer, they bring a charcuterie board, and this year they brought 2 tins of caviar, and they told us it was $100 a piece for the caviar, and we're like, oh my god, like just let us be. So everybody's eating caviar, they're starving, they're like slurping it down.
Oh my word.
And but the best thing happened. This is hysterical. I don't know if y'all have an Uncle Mike. Well, we have 2. Kind of the curmudgeons of the family. We have an Uncle Mike and an Uncle Bill. Okay. And so they're both like same personality every time you're with them. You just know. And so I used to be kind of intimidated by them, but not anymore. And so I went and I sat down next to Uncle Mike because you kind of got to poke him a little bit, and I always, so Uncle Mike, how are you feeling? How's your walk with the Lord? Are you having a good day? Do you need to talk through anything? And you just kind of poke. And y'all, I sat down next to Uncle Mike and started in, and he goes, it was the funniest thing. He goes, I listened to your radio show. What? Uncle Mike, you've never told me this. You actually listened to our radio? Yeah, it's actually good. Like it was so painful for him to say it. But apparently he listens every day. Hey, Uncle Mike.
Oh, wow.
And
hey, Uncle Mike.
He really likes the show. He didn't want to say it. And then he admitted, he said, I finally figured out that like if I follow you on the Facebook, that I guess it notifies him now every time it's about to come on. So anyway, it was fun. We got some kudos from Uncle Mike, which is huge. Because Uncle Mike generally doesn't like anything. The person in family photos that you're like, everybody come in, smile. I'll show you all the picture in the break the last time. You can't see anything except behind my head. You see his little hat bill poking out. But like he hides, and just. So for him to say, I like your radio show. It's a big deal.
That's big time. Are you allowed to say an age range or can you write it on the piece of paper?
Uncle Mike's like in his 60s.
I dig Uncle Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he doesn't generally like anything. He's ex-military. He's a detective in the police department. He's real serious.
Really? Could we talk to him about being a detective?
No, he doesn't like the show. I'm just kidding. he would be like, oh, brr. No, he has some. No, once Uncle Mike gets talking, like one time there was somebody that was like dead in a chair for a really long time that he had to go investigate. And then you get really good descriptions of what dead people in chairs look like and smell like and all that kind of stuff. So he does have some good stories.
Okay. We may have to talk to him.
Uncle Mike actually was in, remember the movie Woodlawn?
Yeah.
He was at Woodlawn when when
all the things
yeah,
went down.
yeah, he has a character in that movie, so he's kind of famous.
Huh.
Yeah.
Uncle Mike.
Anyway, Uncle Mike, shout out. I hope you like today's show. If you do, don't tell me about it because then I'll think you're a softie. How about y'all? You were in Gatlinburg doing things, wedding
We were
things.
in Gatlinburg doing wedding things, and it was great fun. I'll tell you, we're in the wrong business. We should be in the wedding business.
We could make millions.
I am telling you, we could make millions. Also, as a mother, you'll feel this hurt one day soon. You're like, could we just get married in a field?
Yeah.
Could you guys just get married in a field? But where they picked is beautiful, and we are going to have a great time because there are new cabins associated with the property. So we get to hang out during the wedding weekend. So that's going to be fun. But I basically worked my mother magic because they couldn't figure out. I do not like to delay. I want to be in and out and on my way. I don't want to, no chit chatting. Let's go.
Like you don't need a new best friend.
I just, I'm old and I've reached the limit of my threshold. But we were there and you could tell everybody was ready to leave. And I was like, what time did you guys say you're getting married? And they said the time. And I was like, it's funny. It's like 5 minutes until then. Because I wanted them to see what it looked like at that time.
Yeah.
And then they were like, we probably want to get married later. And I was like, okay.
But it's also, what time of year is it?
Summer.
So
it's going to be light for hours.
Yeah.
I'll show you pictures of it. They haven't even turned the electricity on fully. Like the first wedding is happening in January. But it was fun to be with the kids and just hang out with them. They're super fun and they're super cute together. They've dated forever. And we're just really happy for them. And I love her family.
Oh, that's good.
So
I always wonder, like, what do you do if you don't like the family?
Fake it, I guess. Or go with the gut instinct. But they're fun, and I look forward to hanging out and having more time together in the future. And I know I feel very blessed by that. I really do. But it's going to be fun. They're fun. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Also, my future daughter-in-law can bake the stew out of some bread and pound cakes and stuff. So I'm like, girl, you need to sell your stuff.
Oh, we've said that about you, JP, and I said you need to take
yes.
sourdough on the road.
Well, we were coming up with names for the business, and I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
My son was inventing some hilarious names. So anyway, maybe you don't know between me and my oldest child and my son's future wife, we could collab and come up with something. But she can bake.
I think we should taste test.
Okay. I'll get her to make stuff when she's here. But it was just fun. And it, truth be told, no one's going to be surprised. It did help that as I'm driving away and you realize life goes on and you see all these young families and they're having breakfast and I'm leaving and I'm crying because
you're crying.
Yeah, I'm crying because time has passed. It's over.
Cry.
I did. I was crying. I was like, I hope nobody sees me right now. This time went by so quickly. And now we're here and child number 3 is getting married and this is wild. And then the Lord knew I needed to laugh. So I pull on and I merge onto I-40. So I'm just on the outskirts of Knoxville. And I see a lady and I needed to talk to Allison about her because she was a Knoxvillian, clearly. I don't know. She is walking down I-40 with her roller bag on the interstate, just walking down. She had a nice coat on.
Where's she going?
She looked like she was going to the airport. Going down the side of the road. And I was like, are we having
a long way away from there?
Yes. She was walking down the side of the road with her roller bag and a little overnight bag strapped like she was a traveler walking down the interstate. And I thought, I need to ask Allison about that number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, we need to discuss Oak Ridge and the significance to humanity.
It's Oak Ridge.
Whatever. Oak Ridge. I said Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge.
Oh, you said Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge, and not just the Oak Ridge Boys.
And
then number 3, what in the world with the kilometers or miles when you're headed into Chattanooga? And all of a sudden you go 40 kilometers or whatever miles. What city fathers decided that they needed to toy with the metric system?
Wait, this is in Knoxville? Or?
This is in Knoxville or going into Chattanooga. I can't remember. I just knew that I had 3 questions for Allison.
Well, I mean, they like to be European some days.
Knoxville was a union town too.
Yeah,
so.
You're right. It's a good point. So anyway,
Weirdos.
those were my questions for you driving down, which made me laugh. Then I
Only
started
thing I
laughing.
got for the lady is like Knoxvillians are pretty scrappy.
Okay.
Like we're just
That
gonna
makes
make
sense.
it happen. And
Yeah.
if we have to walk down I-40 with our roller bag,
Yeah.
we don't care.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
We're going.
That's fair, Allison.
And we might be moving in kilometers or miles per hour. It
Whatever
doesn't
you
matter.
want. Well, I mean, you've got Oak Ridge nearby, which is very significant. And maybe they were the ones who said miles, kilometers.
Actually, I didn't know. And I wish, so, hindsight, should have paid attention to your grandparents more and really gotten the stories. But my grandfather actually worked on the atomic bomb, at Oak Ridge. And my grandmother, she's a girl boss before girl bosses were a thing, and was an account. She was a bookkeeper at the Oak Ridge at the K-12 or whatever it was called. But there's lots that went on there for sure.
For sure. Only as old as I am now do I appreciate that I'm going by, oh, they're not just a super group.
Yep. No, they don't just sing.
They mean something.
They bomb some stuff.
JP, that means I talked too much and I didn't even. You
JP
had
had
some things
family.
this weekend.
I did have family
Did
this
a lot of
weekend.
things.
We had
Did you see Phil?
I did. I saw the
Aw.
Phil Williams at our big dad's Christmas party, or dad's side Christmas party.
Does he look the same?
He does, yeah.
Or does he look more distinguished and sophisticated?
He looks the same as I saw him 3 months ago. Yeah.
Okay.
He's ready to get to work. He was saying how annoyed he was with that, but also we're at the stage where now my generation is having their kids. So of course we had kids running around everywhere and loud
Aw.
and all that. But it was good. My grandmother, who may or may not be listening, we call her Granny Ram. Her name's Ramsey, so it's Granny
Oh,
Ram.
I love that.
She's about yay tall, and she was responsible for everybody at the house. And she was put on the spot to do a speech to everybody.
Granny
I was there.
Ram was?
She was, and it went something like, how much the family blesses her, but then she goes, Christmas is a sad time for me though. My first husband got sick around Christmas. My second husband, we thought he was going to die at Christmas. And now my brother has got really bad cancer. So who knows? Maybe Christmas next year will be better, or maybe the Lord will come back before then. That's what she said.
Granny Ram.
Hey, it's so, but hey,
That's a reality.
she also complimented the show. So we got Granny Ram's stamp of approval. She said,
Oh,
those
Uncle
ladies,
Mike.
she said, I love those ladies. They're so fun. They're so good. So Granny Ram approves of
Aw,
the show.
Thank you.
You give
That's
her
so
a hug
sweet.
from us.
I will.
Big hug.
I'll give Uncle Mike a hug from y'all too.
Yeah, that'd be appropriate.
He'll
Thank
love
you.
that.
Yeah, big hug.
Love
Extra.
it. Well, okay. Anything else from Christmas? Because now we got to go to a break. But
Oh, that was all the
fast.
things. We had great food. My dad made a cream puff cake.
What is
Stop
that? What is cream
Right
puff
now.
cake?
Are you serious?
It's like a cake, but it's just literally like cream and puff. Like it's like vanilla cream with some sort of foam on top. It's sugar free as well. So it
How
was
did
great.
he do that?
Well, it's actually my great grandmother's recipe on my mom's side that he
I'm gonna have
makes.
to Google's this.
We're gonna
'cause
need
I've
that.
never heard of cream puff cake.
Cream puff pie, cream puff cake,
Cream
one or the
puff
other.
cake.
It's great.
I bet everybody knows about it except me. I feel like a loser. All right. I don't know if we'll get to the montage, but we will cover some news on the other side. Stick around. We'll be right back.
to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver. We're having a Monday, guys. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. We have a lot of news for a Monday, especially the week of Christmas, but that's the way life goes, where there's just a lot of news
Happens
to be
all at
had.
the same time.
Yeah. And then, well, we're just going to start with the new stuff. What else do we have? I mean, I've got other.
Do you want to talk about what happened this morning?
Where I was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was somewhere this morning and there were just official people. I walked in, I couldn't figure out what was going on, for earpieces and very black suits with white, just very crisp, like not your, it was just startled me a little bit. I'm like, somebody is coming to town.
They didn't look like us.
They didn't look like us. They were very professional and very outstanding. And then one of my dearest friends walked in the door. We've known each other since we were 5. Okay. So this is super fun. But she's walks in the door and she was like, oh, you know what today is? And she told me, and I was like, oh, that's what they're here for. So it appeared that the well-dressed business people were actually security for Ella's funeral today. And
Ella Cook, the Brown.
Ella Cook, the precious girl who was murdered at Brown, her funeral is today. And it appeared, I'm 99.9% certain that that's why those men and women were gathered, was to provide a detail for her and for whomever else. And we'll look in the news and we'll pay attention to that throughout the show today to see who else was here, because it looked like a lot of people were coming to give their respects to Birmingham's own Ella Cook.
Well, and I'm guessing there'll be lots of media there. I mean, probably not a bad idea to have security in general. And it, as you were telling us that this morning, it just makes me sad that we are where we are, because you have those lingering questions of what was the motive. We still don't know. We may never know. I mean, he's dead, apparently, if it's the right guy. So you may never know what he was thinking, what he was after, why her, why that classroom, why the professor. That's probably the easier one for me. I mean, obviously there was some sort of history there, but did y'all see anything else over the weekend about the guns or?
You know what I did see over the weekend? I saw the Providence mayor and the Providence police chief go to a Providence basketball game, and they get this round of applause. They stand up, they're clapping for themselves.
Stop.
In front of, and I'm sitting there, I'm saying, y'all don't deserve any victory lap, okay? Because 2 students died under your wall. 2 students and a professor technically died under their watch, because he went off after doing the first one and did the next one. And if it wasn't for some homeless guy on Reddit, you wouldn't have found him. And guess what? You found the guy dead. Okay. You don't deserve a round of applause sort of victory lap. But I did see that. That's the only thing I did see this weekend that drove me up a wall. And that Ella Cook's family has to mourn, today. But they get their victory lap, So
Ridiculous.
Tragedy.
Hope the pizza and the basketball games were fun.
Jeez.
All right, when we come back, maybe more on that. And then we will get to the montage with lots of news on this Monday.
back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And before we get to the montage, I guess the last thing I wanted to say was that I noticed over the weekend, the one thing I had marked down was that in addition to your very well said diatribe against the leadership of Providence, was that the university ignored warning signs for several weeks. And so this whole thing just feels weird. It just does.
Yeah. It's just, like I said, there's no winner in this, but when you see the mayor and the police chief doing like a setup, everybody look at us, round of applause, clapping for themselves, it makes me so angry, because Ella Cook is no longer here. And, you didn't even catch the guy. I don't want to hear we got him from whoever said that. I think it was somebody from the FBI. You didn't get him. You found him dead in a storage unit. Okay. So I don't want to go too down that rabbit trail. But it's frustrating.
I got you, but I did find that odd.
Yeah.
So
why do we not know anything about the other student that was killed? Is that just because we're in Alabama and we focused on Ella Cook? Or I don't even know his name. I've seen a picture, but I don't know where he was from.
Yeah, all I know is that he was a neuroscience student, but I think the reason why is because people believe it was a targeted attack against Ella, and I don't know. I think that's the reason why is because she was identified first, but she was a Young Republicans VP at the university, and I think most people think she was the one that was targeted. We don't know, and
is he that terrible of a shot? Because he killed 2 people and shot 9.
He shot 9?
I mean, didn't he shoot
There's
9 others?
several others.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I think her being identified first, leads people to think that she was the one that was targeted. But like you said, it's frustrating. We don't even know. We don't even know a motive. So, yeah.
Do we know what he yelled? Still haven't heard that.
Nope.
Yep. Still don't know. Still being told, don't worry.
Details don't matter.
No, doesn't matter.
We're going to play. Going to a basketball game, get some popcorn, celebrate.
Read the room, people. Read the room.
On that note, is it montage time?
It is.
Montage.
Well, that means we got to tell you about attorney Stan McDonald, who's a partner at the law firm of Wilmer and Lee out of Huntsville. He's a 30-year veteran in the practice of law. Not only will Stan advocate and fight for your legal needs and rights, but he has been an absolute warrior for causes near and dear to our Rightside ruffian community. Attorney Stan McDonald has represented his clients in literally thousands of real estate transactions over the years. And when Stan McDonald is on your side, you have no greater friend. Likewise, your adversary will have no greater foe. Attorney Stan McDonald from Huntsville. Here's his phone number, 256-533-0202. That's Stan McDonald, 256-533-0202. And tell me her about it on Rightside Radio. And no representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of the legal services performed by other lawyers.
I've performed for huge crowds all around the world. No matter how many songs I do on that stage, it didn't mean as much as this. This is a direct link between young people and God. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world.
It's just before noon on December 5th outside the King County Courthouse in Seattle. That's 75-year-old Jeanette Markin standing on the corner, and police say this is Fale Pea walking up with a stick in his hand when out of nowhere he attacks her. Jeanette is knocked to the ground. Court records show Pea had multiple prior convictions for assault, including stabbing someone 8 times at a party.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. We don't dispute the allegation.
And we have some breaking news just into the WBTM 13 newsroom. A co-founder of Black Lives Matter Birmingham has been arrested.
According to jail records, Eric Hall was arrested late last night and charged with domestic assault. The charge is listed as a misdemeanor. Records show he remains behind bars at the Birmingham City Jail. We're working to learn more about what led up to that arrest, and we'll share that with you on air and online.
I want to mention one other thing. Just reported last week, 300,000 children went missing under Joe Biden. They weren't looking for them. They couldn't find them. So far, the Trump administration kept its promise to American people. They've already located 129,000 of these children, thanks to the work of FBI, DHS, and HHS.
Where I know we're supposed to start at the top. Can we start at the bottom?
We can start wherever we all want to start. It's the
Okay.
montage.
Thank you.
When they find the children, okay, so last week I guess we were at 62,000 children had been found. Now we're at 129,000 children that crossed the border and just disappeared. Apparently there are 300,000 of them out there. That is an astounding number. Like, number one, where do they disappear to? Is this like the houses that are all dilapidated and worn down? And the journalists, do you remember seeing that? The journalists would go and investigate and be like, okay, this is the address where this number of children are supposed to be, and they would show up and it'd be all boarded up and look like, I mean, like a hellhole.
Yes.
Nobody there, but that's where they're supposed to be. So where are these kids going? And then when they find them, what are they doing with them? Does anybody know?
At that part, I have no idea. I remember that, what you're saying about the kids supposed, to be at certain addresses.
Yeah.
But I also remember seeing videos of them being taken to different homes, and the cameras were not allowed to follow them past getting in and out of their van. Do you remember that? Some of them were in airports or in train stations with adults that were not their parents.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So but I don't know. And that is a great question. Where have they been found and what were they doing? And who were they with? I have no idea. I'm glad they found them. But you're right. We need some answers, Allison Sinclair.
It's just, what do you do with 129,000 children that you find?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to do some research. And maybe one of our listeners can tell us. But I think, do you send them back? Are they reunited with their families? Do they even know who they are? Do you know what I'm saying? How do you find names? If some of them are younger, do they even know their names? Do they know their parents' names? Do they know where they came from?
It's all great questions. And it's, and even in the first place, I guess they came across and they were just sort of placed with sponsor families or something to begin with. And I don't know, the whole thing was so shady. And I saw some, the main argument against, so many lost kids were, well, they were just taken by sponsor families. They aren't lost. They would think, well, no, it's actually not that simple. So it is a good question to ask. What do you do with them after? I mean, do you just sort of take them in Child Protective Services and then work to get them with an actual adopted, vetted family? Or did they just go back? I would think they would, take them in and try to find them.
Reunite them.
Reunite them, or B, actually get them with a real vetted, trusted family instead of just somebody that's there with a little note card with that kid's name on it to pick them up at the border and then sayonara. That's all you see of them. Yeah. Some actual legit foster or adopted parent situation.
It'd be interesting.
I have so many questions. Okay, what?
Is if one of these kids has been in the U.S. long enough, who speaks English well enough to be a whistleblower on the whole scene and tell us what actually happened. Were they sent here without parents and they were sent to be trafficked? They were sent here and the parents would follow? What did they see when they were followed with cameras to those vans? The kids were told to give the exact same answers by the adults who had them. And they were American adults that had these kids, taking them to some foster home in the middle of America somewhere. I think it was in Illinois. I'll go look. But I hope that one of those kids would at least shed some light on, because there are many more questions than answers, but also how hateful of the last administration to let this happen to kids. I mean, for all the people who say we're for children, really? It doesn't look like it.
Do you think some of them were probably, I'm guessing, because none of this sounds good, looks good, feels good when you hear these stories, were purposefully separated from their parents at the border? Gosh, that'd be so tragic. Then you think, if you keep them here, then they just become part of our system and our burden. And I hate to say it like that, because I have 2 adopted children from international adoptions that were in very poor situations in poor countries. And there's no doubt that a lot of these children do need care but if you just put them in the system and then they just get churned up in what is already extremely riddled and corrupt here, how is that any better? So my hope is that they try and reunite them, find their parents. But so many of those probably have no idea. They have no identification. They don't know where they crossed. They don't know who they came with. I don't know. Really sad. I'm going to do some research during the break. I guess I'll get on our research team on it, which is me.
Hey, guys in the back.
Yeah.
You hear that?
And Chat GPT.
Hey, typing cats, let's go.
Yeah.
But the really sad. I mean, good for them for finding them, but now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
I wonder if Jared Hudson, who runs Covenant Rescue Group, I wonder if he could answer that and he would have any insight into, because he does a lot of Homeland Security, a lot of federal. What is he? He's like he can do federal arrests and do all that kind of stuff. He's not like a sheriff. He's a, what's it called? Marshal. He's a marshal. Maybe he could tell us what happens.
Yeah, it would be very interesting because you're right. We don't even know. I think we know the tip of the iceberg.
And then you go, was all this purposeful?
Mm-hmm.
Did the Biden regime, did they know what they were doing? Is this to feed into like, y'all, I swear I sound crazy, but there's some global cabal of human trafficking and child trafficking. I don't know.
No, there is.
Like,
Well, yeah.
Okay, thank you for affirming me.
No, there definitely is. And I think it's a fair question to ask because you can say it's incompetence, but incompetence would sort of be like you're trying to actually secure the border, but you're just so bad at your job that you don't. This was deliberate. Like they literally went through every step to keep the border wide open and then deliberately sabotage any efforts to stop it. Like when they sued Texas for having the National Guard secure the border, like that's different than just incompetence. That is, you are actively trying to keep the border wide open. And Mayorkas goes and testifies before Congress and says that the border is secure. So then they're lying to you on top of it. So I don't know. At the very least, they kept the border wide open intentionally. Now, like what Allison said, the question is, are they intentionally trying to have kids be spread out and taken advantage of? You would think, or you would hope, certainly not. But it's like, guys, like you can't be like, I understand the government sucks. Okay. But that is really, really bad. And there was so many kids that got taken advantage of through it. But
it's one thing for it to be adults that you're messing with. You start messing with kids. That's just flat out evil. Evil, I say. All right, we're going to take a break and then maybe we have some texts. I'm actually going to try and call Jared Hudson during the break, see if he can give us some answers. If he doesn't answer, we'll go with Chat GPT or maybe X
or Grok
or
Grok.
Gemini.
Yeah, we'll do some research. Don't you worry. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And handy dandy little bit of information.
We have Jared Hudson actually on the phone. I can't believe he answered my phone call. Usually he's like, it's Sinclair. Decline. Hey, Jared, real quickly, tell us what you were telling me during the break. How do these kids get over here and get separated and then just get lost? And what happens to them when they're found?
Yeah, so the first thing, if anybody wants to look this up too, really quick, it's called like UACs, which you can look it up under unaccompanied migrant or unaccompanied children, and these are migrant children, unaccompanied migrant children, and basically they weren't kidnapped out of U.S. custody. That's what a lot of people think. That's not what happened. They lost contact with these kids after they're released to their sponsor. So the basic process: child crosses the borderline. Homeland Security initially takes them into custody. I guess you could call it custody, but then the children are transferred to Department of like Health and Human Services, right? And in particular, ORR, that's the refugee, refugee resettlement, Office of Refugee Resettlement, I think. And so basically the ORR will then release those kids to a sponsor, which is normally a parent or a relative of some kind that they can figure out. And then, and it might be a distant relative or some unrelated adult, but it's a sponsor. And ORR is supposed to conduct follow-up welfare calls. Well, we know, how the federal government works under the Biden administration. Many of these kids were coming across the border. They were accompanied by somebody who was supposed to be the sponsor in quotation marks. The kids don't have biometrics run. The sponsor does. They get to wait inside the United States of America until their case is adjudicated. So they're here legally because they're now legal immigrants, even though they're illegal immigrants. There are a lot of people who are deporting and coming back across the port of entry to do this. They would use kids to help them out with the process, and then they would just turn the kids loose. And so now the kids, we've lost contact with those children, and those are the ones that are being found for the most part. So that's about the quickest and easiest way I can explain it from a 20,000 foot view.
Well, when they're found, Homan's gone in and found 129,000 kids out of about 300,000 that have gone missing. What would be the process? Do you know what the process would be would that be reuniting them with their potential family that's a sponsor? If it's not a sponsor that's in their family, would they try and send them back to wherever they came from? What's the goal?
Yeah, so the first thing is, so everybody is aware, like it's HHS, right? Health and Human Services. They have no authority to track, right? And then you have ICE is generally not notified or not tasked with following up with these kids because that's also not their nexus. That's not the job they're supposed to do. So if a sponsor disappeared for one of these kids, there was no I don't know what the word would be. There was no automatic mechanism for somebody to reach out, to the sponsor if the sponsor disappeared or to try to find those kids. So that's the first kind of chink in this whole thing that's caused many to go missing. There was no real way to follow up. That was under the Biden administration. Now Trump has pushed, remain in Mexico, and that has arguably limited and mitigated almost all of this under the new administration. The biggest thing is if a child is found and they're tied to that, they might try to find the sponsor, but any living family members that they can come in contact with, or any sponsor that can somehow be connected to them, that's generally the route it goes. I don't know the specifics of where they all go. Some might be sent back to their country of origin if there can be family members found there. But I don't know the full details of that. I just know that how they were lost when they got here. They weren't trafficked out of the U.S. or they weren't trafficked into the U.S. No, this was just this is the way the rules were under the Biden administration, and it allowed for children to be put at risk of, child labor exploitation, educational neglect, sex trafficking, all of those things. So,
all right. Well, we're at the top of the hour, so we've got to take a break. I appreciate you calling in and taking my phone call. Let us know if you have any update on kind of how this is all going to wrap up. And it just seems like a big mess that the Biden administration left us with. And then in the crosshairs are a bunch of innocent children, which is terrible. All right. Jared Hudson, thanks so much for joining us. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Talk about top of the list statements you thought you would never see or hear. That would be Nicki Minaj speaking out and defending Christians, both in the U.S. and globally. Thank you.
Say what?
Never, ever, never, ever, never did you think that that would be where she ended up on a stage, seated across from the Erica Kirk.
I think I probably anticipated that one more. I can go with that more than saying like, that's my president, President Trump. That's even wilder to me. Like that just really seals the deal. But both of those, I mean, all you hear people talking about are, Gaza and Israel and Ukraine and Russia. The Christian genocides going on have gotten zero attention from really anyone besides Nicki Minaj, which is the most bizarre thing ever. It was equally as bizarre as seeing her sitting across from Erica Kirk at TPUSA's big event this weekend. I think she came out after the vice president, didn't she? Didn't she close the whole thing down? Like, I think she was the final.
I can't remember. I think she was.
Which is crazy. And so how do y'all feel about that? Some people were like, what is this? Some people were like, we're a big tent party. Come on, come as you are. Did it bother y'all that she was being platformed?
It bothered me in that it bothers me about my own sin. I'm not going to get up and wear what she wears or sing what she sings. And yet, somewhere in that clouded judgment is this reality that Christians are being persecuted and she needs to speak out for them and proclaim her faith. And I realized that her evolution as a believer has been kind of amazing, and probably nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
But, a little bit like, wow, like that is, what is it? Makes my heart, whatever the song was that was so popular 12 years ago. I don't remember. And I'm like, well, Nicki, we probably should talk about your lyrics, maybe quickly. And maybe we should, address what you wear. But she has more gumballs.
You need me to get them off the shelf?
You may need to get them off the shelf. She has more
Wins
gumballs
the award
than some of our leaders. If Nicki Minaj is saying what she's saying, and you know what? Here's what I love about Nicki for all those things. She knows who she is, and she is not playing. We have a bunch of fraudulent people out there like, oh, I can't believe you would do that. Meanwhile, they're living these sordid lives. Here she's like, here I am. And I'm telling you, we need to speak up for Christians around the world. And so I find that to be convicting and also odd, because she's real. She's based.
She's based. Yeah.
So part of me is like, ooh, but the other part of me is like, you go, girl.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get upset by it. I'm not one of those people that looks for reasons to get upset whenever I see somebody talking on stage. And I even hate the term, like, if she was platformed, because she has a platform already. I think, she wasn't going on stage to talk about, her lyrics, or she wasn't going on stage to talk about, I don't know, advocating for whatever her songs say. She was going on stage to advocate for Christians globally. So I think if you have a platform and you're willing to do that, then you got my support. I was a little bit surprised, in terms of, I just wasn't expecting her to be at AmFest, but I definitely was not upset that she was advocating for Christians globally with the platform she has. So it's okay to support somebody saying something you agree with, especially when it comes to Christians. That doesn't mean you have to endorse everything about them or everything they've done or every song she's written, So I thought it was great. I was more upset about Ben Shapiro at AmFest than I was about Nicki Minaj being at AmFest for sure. Yeah.
There's got to be some grace for people on their faith journey. I hate that. It sounds like such a counseling word, but it's what it is for her. I remember a few years ago, she kind of tiptoed into the conservative world. Do you remember the video she made?
do.
She has like her hair cap on and she's in her robe. And I mean, it was not fabulous Nicki Minaj. It was just her, like her kitchen table. And I can't even remember what she was talking about, but that's when you kind of, all of us, you cock your head to one side and you're like, okay, something's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just been this journey for her. I think she had a child and maybe 2 kids since then. And motherhood will change you. Motherhood will convict you and do a lot in your heart and your mind and your soul. So lots of grace for her. You know, I'm not where I was 5 years ago. We should all be progressing.
Mm-hmm.
There are some though that it's hard because when it's a political party, I was just curious where y'all were on it, because you look at like Dave Rubin, who is a homosexual male, married, and then they adopted one of their sisters, had their baby. It's this whole weird thing. And he is platformed by the Republican Party. I don't know what other word to say.
No, yeah.
But, you know, very highly. Rick Grinnell, you know, there's lots. So maybe that crosses the line, but I was just curious because some people thought that having her there did. I love it. I think it's great. I think, I don't know. I think she's really good for the party. I remember at the inauguration at the ball we went to, do y'all remember Amber Rose?
Yep.
I do.
She was right there with us. Like we were standing right there, and I loved it. I mean, she's so many questionable things, but why not? Why not? Come on. And, but then did y'all hear, did we talk about, I don't think we talked about, well, I guess not, because it was this weekend, Tucker Carlson's
We did not.
speech.
No, hello, right there.
Of course, you wrote it down.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on Tucker? Basically, I didn't watch the whole thing, so I hate it when people take things out of context. I feel like that's not fair to do. But was he basically simping for?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'll go. Well, first, one last thought on the Nicki thing.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's good. It just popped in my head while you were talking about it. If Nicki was coming to talk about how young women in the Republican Party should dress and act, that'd be different. But I think this was more of a
How they should be modest.
Yeah. Well, I think this was more of a look.
Demure.
I know politics is not my thing, but I'm passionate about this, and I'm passionate about protecting Christians. Can I just, speak because she has a platform, so people will listen to her. I think that's great, if it's targeted in that manner. And plus, Charlie Kirk was the big tent guy. As long as you're coming into the big tent to uphold what we're fighting for, awesome. So I thought it was great. In terms of Tucker, yeah. I didn't see the entire thing either, but the clips I saw weren't great in terms of how he was speaking about Islam. First of all, Ben Shapiro was way worse in his speech and really lambasted Tucker. And Tucker kind of came up with a response to Ben. And it was so great to start. But then Tucker went too far the other way, So
basically, didn't he basically say, like, why would we even why we welcome everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said, disagreeing with someone just because they're Muslim, and it seemed like he was advocating for Islam. And I don't think Tucker's not a Muslim himself. I think he's genuinely a Christian, but he just bought a house in Doha, and
weird.
some of stuff, it's just weird. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it was bizarre.
I agree with you, and wish I would have thought of this before we put a period on Nicki Minaj. Before I do Tucker, because it's brief on the Tucker thing. I just, as you were talking, I thought, oh, Jesus and the fishermen.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I mean, do we think they were sweet when they first got with him? Like Peter tried to run away, the night he was like, Peter, you were with him. So they were not tameable until they were. And I think we do have to have lots of grace, because when you see leaders talking about everything but standing up for Christians around the world, I I think to the tune of 100,000 a year are being slaughtered in Africa. Specifically, I think Nigeria was a stat I saw. I have to go double check that. So yeah, you know what? If Nicki's the one who's going to do the speaking and we're going to listen and suddenly go, oh, we should probably do something, even though this has been going on for at least 10 to 15 years, maybe longer, we'll take it because y'all aren't doing it. She has a lot more to lose. And I think that's what makes it significant as far as the wealth, the power, the money, all the things. And here she is doing this. And so you're right. Lots of grace to that. And then finally, Tucker, Islam, I should hope the least nefarious reason is that he's ignorant. But the most is that he just became a paid influencer for Qatar because that's what they're paying people to do these days. And it's odd that he bought a house there, but it's odd. And I'm frustrated because I respect his intellect. I respect his curiosity, but for the love, could you school yourself on what Islam is? It is by its very nature political. So to say that they're all just innocent living lives and they're all nice means that he is, involved with the Medina strategy right now, right? So I'm disappointed, but I hope somebody will get him Daryl and Verge's podcast, or is it the Mecca strategy?
It's the Mecca.
Yeah. So I hope somebody will get him. And I saw that they were putting that out there this weekend. Get them the Just Thinking podcast on political Islam. Somebody needs to get that to him.
Yeah.
Or he's been paid off and he's done.
I think I can't buy into that he's ignorant. He's just not. He's too smart. And so, and then I go, well, okay, we talk on the radio live every day, which is very intimidating and risky because sometimes things come out the way you don't intend them to. Sometimes I say things I don't even remember I said, especially like in interviews where you're trying to watch the clock and you're trying to think of the next question, and you're trying to listen, and things come out sometimes ways that you wish you could rephrase them or could have phrased them better. But for him, there's a way you can say, like we would, Islamism, I guess that's the right word. Islam is incompatible with America's Constitution. It just is not going to work here. However, that doesn't mean you go out and start, beating up verbally, physically all the Muslims you see. No, you need to, have a heart of ministry towards them as well. But you can't be naive. He didn't say any of that. He just said, why are we making them the bad guy? I mean, we should be nice to everybody. That's not the answer. It was very disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Very crushing. Like I'm going to have to be done with him for a while.
It's so sad. Tucker was like my rush.
I know.
I know.
But I don't know. I know we got to go to break, but my short guess off the top of my head is the people that I guess the way to say it is his biggest enemies and the most anti-Tucker people are also the most hawkish against Islam. So I think this is sort of his, I don't know, maybe he thinks he's over the target because his enemies that hate him also hate Islam, or not hate Islam, but are very, hawkish against Islam and bringing Islam to America. So I think he kind of sees it as, well, if they don't like this, then it must be, correct. So I don't know. That's sort of my sense, if the Laura Loomers and the Ben Shapiros and the Mark Levins that all hate Tucker so much also hate Islam so much, I guess that's sort of his,
reaction formation.
The enemy of my enemy, Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I really hope it's not malicious and he's being paid to do it.
He might come back and issue an apology or a retraction like he did when he said that Christian Zionists were the worst people, the worst group of people ever. Whatever he said. And then he was like, no, wait, let me restate that. As someone who's done this for a few years, Abs, you've been way longer. JP and I are just catching up, but you say some really dumb things. So maybe a pass, but it was disappointing. We got to take a break. We will get to the rest of the news when we come back.
Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And JP, do you have some text, sir?
We do. 833-687-4448 is the text line number if y'all want to let us know your thoughts. Chris from Starrett, Alabama says, I'm not a fan of Nicki's music and couldn't tell you one song she sings, but if her conversation is real, it will show. Sometimes the most anti-Christians can make the most zealous Christians. Hashtag Paul of Tarsus. It's true.
It's good. It's a good word.
Mike from Florence says, to me, Ben Shapiro's message and what he stands for is much more poisoning because while he is a practicing Jew, he does not believe that the Savior has even come yet, which is much worse than Tucker's attitude or Nicki Minaj's lack of possible fruit yet.
We got a good audience.
One. Yeah, that's a conversation.
It's definitely a conversation.
I mean, what he's saying is true. They don't even think Jesus was a prophet.
Yeah,
he was just a rebel that took down the Roman government. Or tried to.
Well, it wasn't even just that part of Ben Shapiro's message. It was the how dare you? I mean, he was talking like a liberal. How dare this person talk to this person? How dare this person platform this person? And, was just completely against what Charlie Kirk stood for. Because if it was up to Ben Shapiro, Tucker wouldn't even have been there. But yet Charlie was the one that put his neck on the line with his donors to have Tucker at the previous AmFest and his event this summer during the Epstein file debacle. So not only, all of what Mike said was true, but even aside from the fact of that, it's like, why are you the free speech police? Or why are you, telling people who they can and can't talk to? It's so anti-conservative. So, yeah.
And I'm just not going to say it.
Oh, well, Jay from Lake Town has a contrary view. He said, Carlson is a grifter. I used to like him, but I can't get behind that Islam stick. Or shtick. Shtick.
What does he mean by getting behind the Islam stick?
Or like he can't get behind Tucker's stance on Islam and
okay, just want to make sure
vouching for Islam.
Agree.
Which I would agree. I think Tucker went a little bit too far the other way.
I think he did, and I think you're right. He did it in response to Ben Shapiro, because Ben is the definition of fascist. If he's, you can't come up here and say anything I don't like.
Yeah.
And that nasally, whiny voice.
Tucker Carlson talked to Ben Shapiro.
I already don't like him, but just because of his voice. Yeah, it's just.
And it's like Nick Fuentes' voice. Ugh,
Tucker Carlson talked to Nick Fuentes.
Punch him in the face.
And then Nick this weekend talking about being so weak if you want to be a father and have a family. And
sentimentality is not a male virtue.
Okay. So we got problems, people.
Got problems.
But we're here.
Speaking of problems, what happened in Fulton County in the 2020 election? Once again, we were all right.
Let's discuss
On the other side. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP in musical chairs on our set. If you're paying attention, we're moving it around almost every time.
What are you talking about?
Just because we can.
Just their eyes are bad. It's
It's
we're
okay.
not
It's fine.
moving.
But if you see movement, you're like, what? It's because we are.
I kind of like it. It's making me want to take a nap in this cushy chair, though.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
That's my
Yeah.
We
problem.
need to jumping jacks in the break.
Let's do it.
Think we probably. I need a table,
Yeah,
or I need a
table.
chair. I need a non-cushy chair because if we take a nap, there's the show. Okay, how about here's something not to sleep on.
That was
How
good.
about you like that?
That's good.
How about let's not sleep on the 300. Gosh, Malsai, how about that?
She can't resist.
I can't resist. How about let's not sleep on the 300,000 ballots from Fulton County that they're like, y'all are so crazy and stupid. And I can't believe you'd ever think anybody would steal an election. And the idea that we covered up the windows at the Fulton County Center
And brought in
suitcases and suitcases of ballots. It's just ridiculous. You're so stupid. How gauche of you guys.
Gauche?
Gauche.
Is that a word?
Pedestrian, stupid, small, minute, small-minded.
For the day.
Gauche. Gauche.
Yeah, let me break it down after all that fanciness.
Come on. Whatever, guys.
Georgia stole the election in 2020. No questions. They certified an election, 315,000 votes, not signed off on. 315,000 votes were counted that should have never been counted.
Nope.
So Trump's mugshot, although I guess we would have never had that epic photo. Who else? Sidney Powell.
Rudy Giuliani.
Who else went down? I mean,
our friends,
our close friends. And now they're saying it's true. And JP, do you have the clip of the biscuit lady that in her rebuttal?
I do. So this is the lady presiding over.
I don't even know who it is. She looks like my grandma Pat.
Well, this was essentially Fulton County's response to the allegations that 315,000 votes in 2020 were counted and should not have been counted. Pretty much just saying we don't deny the allegations.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule. Since 2020, again, we have new leadership and a new building and a new board and new standard operating procedures. And since then, the training has been enhanced. The poll watchers are trained specifically. They've got to sign the tapes in the morning and they've got to sign the tapes when they're run at the end of the day. When the tapes come back to the hub for, with all the documentation, they are checked again. And if somebody forgot to sign a tape, then Fulton initiates an investigation. But we don't dispute the allegation.
Okay.
I'm glad they have a new building because that really helps the fraud.
Do you think that the thought bubbles above other people in that room's heads went, huh? What?
No, because they all know what happened. I mean, they all know that we were once again right. They all know it was a fraudulent election. Brad Raffensperger knew it. Everybody knew it. If they didn't know it that night, because there is a lot that goes on, you've got a lot of information coming from a lot of different precincts and polling state and blah. They knew it pretty soon after. They knew it well enough in time to not indict president.
Yeah.
And the shame. But here's the thing. There's nothing we can do about it now. Oh, we've got better training for our poll watchers, and that's enough.
Your poll watchers then were trained.
What's done is done. We can't go back. Nobody will be held accountable. Again, same thing. Nobody. But I have to remind our listeners, and I've told the story a million times about when we went to Jefferson County and there were more votes than ballots. This is exactly what happened. And yes, it wasn't 315,000
It's a
in
lot of
one
votes.
county, but you add it up and it matters. So I just encourage everybody, when we go to our polling place, it's always the same sweet, sweet old people that work the polls every single time. And I'm so thankful they're there. But we need fresh eyes. We need more people. We need everyone to get involved. You can go. You can be a poll watcher, not a worker. You can be a poll watcher for a candidate. You just have to get a sheet of paper. They say that you're there to watch, and you can make sure they're going through the steps. There's a lot more you can do than you think, because, man, we didn't know before 2020.
Yeah. Well, when you said there's nothing we can do about it now, we can't, but it's important to also call it out because Biden won by 11,779 votes in Georgia in 2020. That's a lot less than 315,000 that weren't processed correctly and weren't signed correctly. So not only did Biden win by a lot less than 315,000, but that they put Trump in jail over the definition of banana republic is what we saw in 2020 with Trump and Giuliani going to, they made a mockery out of the American justice system for something that actually ended up being correct. And they're not even disputing the allegation. Like, no, this is not something we can just, the mainstream media can sweep under the rug and not talk about, because the way you, even though it was a badass mugshot, the way you put Trump in jail, a former president, and made America look like a banana republic in front of the whole world over something that actually, there's actually something to it. It's important to spotlight it so that we don't see anything like this happen again. But yeah, that's no little amount. That's 315,000 votes that weren't processed or signed. And also, what was it? Dana from Athens says, also don't forget about the Fulton County water leak. Y'all remember that?
Oh, I forgot about that.
So it's insane that we don't dispute the allegations and you just expect us to move on and not talk about it. I understand it's 2025, but that was no small thing y'all did, throwing Trump in jail, and everybody in jail for being correct in the long run.
So then go back and let's relook at Arizona, because I know things have been brewing there, and go back and look at Wisconsin and go back and look at Pennsylvania. Go back to every state. There were questions. Michigan had questions. Wisconsin had questions. Go back. But beyond that, two things. One, because sometimes it gets hard to bring something up that you were right about, but then you also know, what the heck are they going to do? Like, we say there's nothing they can do, but can they not throw those people in jail? Also, beyond that, beyond what can we actually do, because we discussed that over the weekend, like, there's a lot of people exposing a lot of things. But in 2026, even if we're the only group of people doing it on the air, I would love to begin bringing up, here's our solution to that. Even if they never do it, at least we are bringing up what ideas we think they should do. So noodle on that, because what is the solution to people who refuse to be held accountable? I don't know what that answer is. But even more than that, do you remember how Jenna Ellis caved?
Oh, I forgot about her.
Do you remember
Holy
how
cow.
some of the people around him really just melted like butter?
You're right.
And then they just have skulked off into nothingness, or they would use their melting like butter because it made them look virtuous. She cried in court so that she would not get prosecuted. And then over time would criticize Trump. So it was very helpful in exposing who were just the grifters in his first administration.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And if Trump would have won in 2020, in hindsight, maybe we don't get what we got.
Yeah.
Obviously it's awful the way the Biden and his administration did. So, would have preferred Trump to have won, but Trump losing in 2020 is what caused this now. And even though sometimes we complain not enough is being done, 2020 brought us to 2024. Who knows if Trump would have won in 2020, where we'd be at now? We may be having another Democratic presidency, but it's important to point it out, because not only the aspect of them putting Trump in jail, like I said. But we are the United States of America, and we can't even get our elections down, like our election system down without crap like this happening. And a swing state that decided the election, it's just, it makes us look bad. It's embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. And it makes us look bad. And I still want to think through, what do we think we can do to change the situation? And the other question, because it's so frustrating. I'm really frustrated. What can actually be done to those people?
I mean, they can go to jail. That's the answer. I mean, nobody changes without consequences. I don't care if you're 3 or 300. You have to have consequences. Otherwise, there's no incentive to change. And so without them being indicted or convicted or jail time or severe fines or penalties or being removed from office, I mean, maybe that's it. Remove them from office. But I doubt any of that's going to happen. I really don't. So why would anybody not? It's kind of like you watch the shoplifters in San Francisco that can just walk out. I mean, if they're not going to get caught, why would I not do it?
Mm-hmm.
It's really a small, not small, that's a big thing, but it is another little microcosm of a bigger issue of that nobody has any consequences anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets a participation trophy. Nobody has to lose. Nobody has to, there's no higher moral ground anymore. And everybody just kind of sinks to the lowest denominator. And so if everybody's cheating, I don't know, why not just cheat? And in Jefferson County this time, it was 150 votes at a precinct. Nothing happened. John Merrill certified the election anyway, so nothing happened. So next time we're going to make it 1,500. Why not?
I agree. Nothing's going to be done about it, but we can do our part. That's all we can do.
Yes.
What's that mean? We have to go be poll watchers?
No, we can. Well, I mean, if we want to, maybe we start a Rightside poll watching project.
That'd be a good idea.
Hey, that would be fun. I've done that. Well, I was a poll worker. That's a whole thing to learn about. Makes you appreciate what they do. But yeah, we can do that. And we can also be, I don't know, send out solutions to people. But until, Trump came into office with such bravado about holding people accountable for the love of all that's good and holy. When is that going to start?
My sweet old Granny Ram has been a poll worker for years.
Granny
Of
Rams.
course. Well,
See,
somebody-
yes.
Yeah.
Granny
I trust
Rams
her.
make the world go round. We love them. Very sweet. All right, we got to take a break. Those silly breaks, they're here again. When we come back, maybe some text. We've got a 70-year-old woman that's just getting her head bashed in. This is just the norm now.
The result on soft
Yeah.
of soft on crime DAs
Yep,
once
yep.
again.
Nobody held accountable. Why not? We'll be back.
to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver, Allison Sinclair, JP. We're just making our way through a Monday. Where are you in your shopping journey? Are you done? Are you still out there? Are you in traffic?
I'm done for one. I don't know
Are
about
you
y'all.
done?
Done, son.
So impressed.
I got it all done 2 weeks ago. Okay, actually,
JP?
my China package came in yesterday too. So now I'm officially.
Okay. All right.
I was tracking it. I didn't know if it was going to get here.
How long did it take? Because I got something coming from India, and it's been a month.
India. I ordered this one December 6th.
Okay.
Oh, I'm like at November 6th.
Mm.
I don't think it's coming.
Girl, I think yours is not coming.
I think I better go out and find another. I usually am done Christmas shopping by like the beginning of November, and just not happening this year. I always make a point, because especially when the kids were young, there were just all the, oh, God bless you, young parents. Sorry, I'm choking on my chocolate candy. Like all the school stuff, all the musicals, all the programs and the grades and the honor rolls and the Christmas parties. You remember that? Oh,
it was hard
so
to
I'd
keep
have
a
to be
good
done
attitude.
early. Yeah. Otherwise, I just hated everybody.
Yeah, we used to get done. Sometimes we'd shop in October.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, well, I guess they're turning the spigot off on Thursday or Wednesday, and that's when I'll be done. No, I literally have just tiny little tidbit things. So I'm 98% done, but I'm not at all happy. I told Chris next year.
Why?
Schedule. Well, just because I wanted to be done before now, but with all that has gone on in our lives,
all the things,
it's been hard, but it's okay. It's about to be Christmas and the weekend and all the things, and it'll be wonderful.
Do you know, I'm going to give you some bright side to not shopping early.
What's that?
Well, youngins. One year we were really penalized. I was, for shopping early, because then you're not within the return window.
Oh, that is a
and you're stuck with all the things you don't want.
That happened to me last year.
So look at the bright side.
That's a good point. Yeah, because
there
are some things I didn't get returned because I was outside the window. That's a great point.
So just a good side. We have a few. Well, do you have text? I have a question for y'all.
We got one good text about what we were talking about.
Do we have any bad ones?
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying a good question with.
Just kidding.
You put me on the spot here. They should be. This is Adam from Athens says they should be jailed, but the truth is nothing would happen. To quote Dale Jackson, "Damn, it's good to be a Democrat."
I like that quote.
Yeah, it's true.
I like that quote a lot.
What's your question for?
This is really shifting gears, but it just popped on my ex, and we talked about it, I think, before you were here. Tim Burchett, Congressman, and Senator Mike Lee are calling for the U.S. to leave NATO.
Yeah.
What do y'all
please.
think about that?
Get out.
Yeah. Okay, JP disagrees.
Well, okay. It's so nuanced because if you would have asked me even like, I don't know, 6, 7. Okay. I did not mean to do that. Like earlier this year.
6, 7.
Earlier this year when I was still kind of in my really strong libertarian phase, I was kind of weeding out. I would have been like, absolutely, we need to leave NATO. Here's the thing, though. I guess the question is, can NATO be salvaged? Because what it has essentially turned into is U.S. defense manufacturers getting their pockets lined to the wazoo because everybody that joins NATO has to buy the, requirements, which is all American defense manufacturing. And so it's the military industrial complex getting rich off of NATO. But NATO, that's why NATO keeps expanding, because the North Atlantic Treaty, we're in Estonia and Latvia. That's not the North Atlantic Treaty. So it has become a something to provoke Russia with and try to start a World War III while people get rich off of it. So if that's all NATO is going to be, I'm all 100% for being out of it. I do think, though, it's important to keep an American presence in Western Europe. And it's expanded way past that into Ukraine, or trying to get into Ukraine. So I guess, if it can't be salvaged and it's just way past the point of no return, then yes, let's leave NATO. But I don't know. I do think it's important for America to keep its sphere of influence in Western Europe if it can be contained. I guess that's the main question. Is NATO salvageable? or does it just need to be?
I think we need to get out. I think that by leaving, it's like walking away from buying a car, but this is way bigger, obviously. But I think walking away would send a message because we can influence in different ways by not providing. We're enabling the growth. And the only way to stop it, I think, is to just cut it off.
I can definitely see that point. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good topic. I also have another one. It's about the ABC board.
Ah,
We
that's
can do
perfect.
that after the break. We'll be back.
So I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors, you got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And we are rounding out hour 3. We have made it through Nicki Minaj and TPUSA, which is amazing. We talked about the Fulton County story, which, surprise, surprise, we were right.
What?
Ballots were stolen.
One more time.
We were right.
I mean, what is the score? W column for conspiracy theorists, 1 million. L's 0.
So maybe when somebody tells you something that seems preposterous, you might want to take another look. Also, those kind of stories are very helpful for flushing out people who don't really like you anyway. Hello, I'm looking at you, Jen Ellis, because I think you're awesome. I just think that was very, very unfortunate because it turned out to be true. I bet she's learned from it, Allison. I bet she has. Anyway.
Haven't thought of her in years, so.
I mean, come on, Jenna.
Look her up on the X's.
Yeah, let's see what she's
if
doing.
She's around.
Our thoughts and prayers are with Ella Cook's family in her funeral today. No amount of sorrow will ever bring that precious girl back. But we're going to keep watching what was going on at Brown University and why, I guess, a janitor told the administration, like this guy who was casing the joint did it like 2 weeks, found him, like reported him 12 times. So that's weird. We'll keep looking at that. But what's more important is that our thoughts and prayers are with Ella's family. Now, we are rolling around to one of our last stories from the montage, which was the Birmingham BLM guy who got arrested. Did y'all happen to see the entire clip?
I did not.
So I think it's from Channel 13 in Birmingham, perhaps NBC 13. But the whole thing is worth listening to because the person who was arrested did something super slick. And I'm wondering if it just leaps out at you too, because I'm pretty sure it will. But here it is. This is unbelievable.
10, we're hearing from local activist Eric Hall for the first time since his domestic assault arrest on Tuesday. The Black Lives Matter Birmingham founder is also using this moment to call attention to conditions inside the Birmingham jail.
Your reporter James Giles joining us now. James, what is Hall saying about his arrest?
Well, Taylor, Steve Hall says what stemmed from that arrest was the night of that arrest, a friend was staying with him at his home, and that friend happened to be having a mental health episode and appeared to be drunk. Now, he says he called police for help, believing his friend would be taken to a crisis facility, but instead, Hall says, despite restraining the friend until police arrived, Hall was the one who was actually arrested. Now, after 2 days in city jail, Hall is now calling on city leaders to take action, describing overcrowding and unsanitary conditions that he says force inmates to find alternative ways to maintain personal hygiene.
Some who don't even have access to a simple sink are forced to use toilet water to simply take a simple wash up. These conditions are inhumane, and everyone deserves to live with dignity and respect, regardless of whatever criminal charges or whatever the city or the state have imposed on our people.
Mm-hmm.
And Hall says after witnessing those conditions in the Birmingham City Jail, it prompted Black Lives Matter Birmingham to step in and pay the bail for at least 5 people who couldn't afford to post it themselves. They had been sitting in there for a while. We also did reach out to the Birmingham City leaders as well as the Birmingham Police Department, and we'll update this story and let you know what they say once we hear back. Your reporter in the newsroom, James Giles, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
And my correction, WBRC 6, Fox 6 News, not the other station. So what jumped out at y'all?
Well, obviously it's the not accepting responsibility and attacking the system with talking about the quality of life in jail as as if it's they're in there not getting fed or having to. Do you really believe that story though? People having to wash up with toilet water in the
the
toilets.
I mean, I think the toilets are connected to the sinks.
It's tap water.
Like
Toilet water is tap water.
I
I understand it's in the toilet, but
yeah, but I think I think it's like the sink is one
Yeah.
with the toilet.
I think you're correct.
I don't know how else to say that.
Mhm.
So maybe that's what he's talking about, but I feel like that's pretty standard in prisons.
Yeah, I think it is too. I mean, I've never
Just
been in
being
prison. But
dramatic.
yeah, and it's just the usual victim mentality of, they're a victim of the system, even though, how about you don't commit domestic violence and you won't be in jail? How about that? So that's mainly what stuck out to me was the victim constantly spinning it to I'm a victim, even though I was arrested because I committed a crime.
Can I get some clarity and clarification on the whole story? And it made me okay. So he was at his place of residence. I can't remember what they said, with a friend who was having a mental breakdown, and he was subduing and tying up. I don't know how to say it. Subduing the friend who was having an episode, and so he called the police to come help him with this friend. But then the police ended up arresting him. Did they arrest him for what he was doing to his friend that was having a mental episode, or did they arrest him for domestic assault for some other time?
That is unclear, Allison Sinclair. It seems like it was from that event.
Yeah, that's what it seems.
That the friend who apparently was having a mental breakdown made the call on him. I don't know.
Oh, I thought Eric Hall called the police to help with his friend.
What did you think?
I thought it was I thought it was about that instant or
Yeah,
but
incident.
who's on first?
But who's on
Who
first?
called? Did this guy call, or did the friend having the mental episode call?
My understanding was the friend called.
I thought the friend called.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he called.
So either way, there is no. Okay, let me just tell you now that I have been inside the Birmingham City Jail, and the bathroom is open because it should be. I was with the group. We were there, and you have to bring the trash can in front of the door when you need to go to the bathroom. Okay, there is no privacy. I was only on the female floor, but that's similar situation. You can tell inmates apart based on the stripes on if they're violent, they have a certain color on them, or they were murderers, they have a color on them. So there's that. So he's right. But you're in jail. You went to jail because you did something wrong. And I thought, and I had the jail food. It's not great. I may or may not, I did, saw roach just tra-la-la-la-la across the refried beans that they served us. Doesn't matter. Was there for a different reason. Who cares? But you're in jail because you did wrong. And I don't know what it's going to take to get people back to that baseline. I did wrong. I should be there. And now I'm out and I've learned. But there was no sense of accountability at all from this character. And then he talked about my people. Like, what do you mean?
I grimaced when he said that.
He
said our people.
Like
if you aren't white or a domestic, I don't know what R is, but I'm guessing I wasn't included in that. Then you can just fend for yourself. It doesn't really matter. You can't treat our people like that. Gross.
Yep.
Who cares? So BLM came in. Apparently, I was listening to a different story, but I think this part is right. BLM Birmingham came in and bailed him out and 5 other people.
Yes.
Just for fun.
That would have been in there.
I
for a
wonder
while.
if they were white people that they bailed out.
Probably, I would suggest probably not. I don't know for sure, but they did bail out 5 other people because they'd been in there for a while. So, I mean, the whole story is just filled to the brim with, well, it's everybody else's fault but mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he never admitted, ever. Like, just completely switched the story around.
Well, and he didn't even, if he didn't want to say anything, like he didn't even have to come out and say that he did a crime. I mean, I understand, obviously, if it's an open case, you're not going to say you did something. But yeah, it's the taken the immediate opportunity to cameras on, cameras rolling, okay, and let him be the victim in that situation. Just don't. I mean, why do you have to say anything at all? Like, I don't know. You just got arrested for something. Your lawyers, well, you would think the lawyers would just say, dude, just zip it and we'll fight it. But it's the immediate having to say I'm a victim and be in front of a camera.
Yeah.
This is right after the other BLM lady was charged with like millions of dollars in fraud.
Yep.
That whole organization is a fraud.
So that's the other question. What is the purpose of BLM? If it kind of came out of Black American citizens who they felt were being wronged by police. But I understand this guy was a BLM co-founder of Birmingham. So they're kind of getting out one of their, people in terms of their founders. But I don't know where the other 5 or so, if you're having money for bail for a specific, we think these people were victims of police brutality or they were wronged by the system. Is it you're bailing out those people, or any Black citizen that gets arrested for anything can just get bailed out from BLM money? So I guess that's the question of, okay, so what even is the point of BLM? Is it just any Black person who gets arrested is a victim and we're going to raise money to bail them out and also raise money to get nice houses, in the nicest parts of whatever city they're in? Like I said, I understand this guy was a BLM co-founder. So it's like, okay, we're getting out one of our founders, one of our guys, but I want to know the other 5 people. Like that's their right to do that. But if you're just, are you Black? Okay, then come on. It's what's the point of BLM even then? I mean, if you're just, any Black person who gets arrested and get bailed out with BLM money, so that's just one of the other areas where it's like, what even is the point of BLM? It's just like a money laundering scheme.
I don't know. They never seem to, okay, so they help people now, but they seem to just be interested in help themselves. And that's, I don't know. But I just thought from start to finish, the whole story was pathetic. I hate that. I really, truly do.
I want to know what happened to his friend. I hope they got help. In my head, he had him like tied up, poking him with sticks somewhere in a deep, dark dungeon.
Allison.
I don't know. I mean, it was weird. I don't know. Anyway, it's a break again.
That it is.
World. Okay. So, we still haven't talked about the 70-year-old lady.
Oh gosh.
It's a good one. Or not
Is
a
it
good
good?
One. It's a doozy.
JP?
It's a doozy.
It's a doozy. We'll have it on the other side. We'll be right back.
You know what?
That's my fault.
A little bit longer, friends. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP.
Can I put out that PSA though, real quick?
What's the PSA?
The PSA is just everybody just know I'm talking to you, my age and boomers and up. Like what you like on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, especially Instagram, it's one you don't think about. If somebody you follow likes something, you can see that they like it if it comes across on your feed. So it happened this morning that I came across someone I know who liked an Instagram post, and I was like, what? And it caused a conversation between us. So that's all I'll say. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Nothing. But it's just remember, if you hit that click, if you hit that heart, everybody can see what your heart.
Everybody.
I had a text exchange with a friend of mine not too long ago, and this was not like I became friends with this person this year via church in Huntsville, but we were texting. We were texting. I don't know why. We send each other memes. We're like Instagram friends. We send each other memes, and then one time we were just texting on DM, and I said something. I said a statement. I can't remember what it was, and he goes, "Oh, I know. I see what you like." And I go, uh-oh. So now whenever I like something and I'm like, I don't know if my friends will see me like that, I'll take that back.
Yeah, I've taken things back before. So I keep it very innocuous.
But so one of my children had my phone, and I will not gender them, like something that they thought they were on their Instagram account, but they were on mine.
Oops.
And somebody else saw it and they were like, Allison, what is this? So also make sure you're on the right account if you're going to start liking stuff, because you could get people in trouble. Like people can lose jobs and be publicly shamed and ridiculed.
Oh my word. I mean, just be careful. It is a jungle out there in social media land.
You know, Instagram made a tab. I actually never got the update for it. So I don't know if they tested it out and stopped, but like, you know, when you go to your Reels tab, they made an extra tab called Friends tab, and it's only Reels that your friends have liked.
What? I don't have
I never got it.
Let me see this.
I don't know if they kept it or if they just tested it and took it away.
Oh,
but I know that was a thing at one point, which is terrifying. You just can scroll and see what all your friends have liked.
Okay, here we go. And action. Okay, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, if I don't have it on mine, I don't know if y'all.
Oh, what are you saying?
Guys,
what are you saying?
The funnest thing for us tomorrow, but it's only for girls. I'll find one for JP. Please hold.
Also, make sure nobody has access to your accounts and can post as you as well. That happened to me today.
You know what? That's a thing. Okay. Let's
I don't know.
see.
You're gonna have to show us boomers how to do that, because
I'll show you later.
I can't find it.
We don't know nothing, JP.
I don't know how to do this.
Help us.
There's also been instances of me sending Reels to my friends and be like, why did you like this? Do we need to talk? Are you okay?
Yeah, that's kind of what happened this morning. That's so funny. Do we have any text? Oh, we only have like 30 seconds.
We have like 10 seconds.
Okay. Do we have any text?
We have some text. Well, we got, Phil from Chattanooga. This is off topic, but fun. He said, holiday name, Brightside Radio.
I like it.
That is so good.
That's what we're going to be tomorrow, because we have something coming.
We do.
Do we?
We do. We're also going to open each other's Christmas gifts on air.
It's a dangerous game to play.
Is it though?
No, it's not. It's fun.
It might be dangerous. Might have to some big redacted black boxes.
Like the Epstein release.
Yeah. We're going to do our own version. It's bad timing to get choked up. Okay, y'all. We'll be back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
to Rightside Radio, where
it's just
Can I just say how quickly Amy Beth locked in? She was mid convo and I pointed. She goes, "Oh, we can welcome back to Rightside Radio."
have you seen those like AI little kids? I sent one to you the other day. The little kids or the Bible dogs, like that are straight up AI. I think it is so funny when it's the dogs talking and a lady's interviewing them at church. They give the kids Bible names, but not Bible lessons. But one of the dogs at the beginning was a German Shepherd, which was my growing up dog. And he says what he says, and he goes, "Lock in." And I'm like, oh, that's so us.
that's
funny.
Very German Shepherdy, and Abs, who is by far the most professional one here. Next up is JP. Then Sinclair comes rolling in. I thought you were going to say AI because you were showing me the Jeffrey Epstein video of him supposedly killing himself in his cell, but it is bizarre.
One of his attempted ones. I think
Okay, so that one didn't work because it looked like it wasn't going to work.
Yeah, that was one of his attempted attempts that I guess was on camera. So they got that one on camera, but not the actual one on camera.
Okay.
Makes you think.
Also, I know we have to talk about the Seattle lady. May I just ask this question? Am I the last one to understand just how very bad the whole Epstein CIA connection was? Like I was driving home this weekend and I listened to Mike Benz. Listen, if language offends you, don't listen to this, but he is the best to me at explaining the deep state because he was a whistleblower. He understands the CIA. He gives some great lectures like at Hillsdale. But I didn't understand that at 25, Epstein was working with the covert CIA bank, BCCIA bank, and making these trades, making these deals with I don't even remember. There was so much information in it, but I thought, so he was making high-level deals, mirrored trades, so nobody could really see what was going on, but it was a way for the U.S., for the Brits, for other people to arm the Mujahideen, which turned into the Taliban, which turned into ISIS. So we set people up and we say, oh, yes, we're against the Soviets and we have to take them out in the 80s. And then we took them out. Oh, by the way, Osama overstayed his welcome on this globe. So we're going to take him out, which they should have. There's no excuse. I'm not making an excuse.
I hear he was CIA too.
Wow.
But what I wonder is, and I'm listening to this and then I'm understanding, oh crap. So certain elements, not all, certain elements that we will never touch. We're making trades, doing deals. Now I understand how he was so connected to these high-level individuals, but also how he got so much money for Bear Stearns. And then Bear cut off the connection with this whole CIA bank situation. That crumbled. But I failed to understand just how deep, like core of the earth deep, went. And then how troubling parts of our CIA, not all of them, really are. I didn't understand that until yesterday.
Well,
I was yesterday years old when I understood that. And I'm like, oh, now this all makes sense why they don't really want these documents out there.
If you're really interested in it, Daryl Cooper, who is he has the Martyr Made podcast where he literally just finds topics and goes deep.
You made a face. That's really deep.
And
I've never seen that face.
I've listened to, he was my number one podcast on Spotify this last year, but he did like a 7-hour one on Epstein alone. Everything you need to know about Epstein, essentially. So if you're interested in that, you need to go check it out. But I think evidence is pretty clear that Epstein was a CIA and Mossad access agent. I think it's pretty obvious because Ghislaine Maxwell, her father, was Mossad, but he was a part of the Iran-Contra situation from the Israeli
Mike
end.
talked about that too. And I'm like, okay.
So I don't know if that's...
You can't do these deals like you're talking about unless you have inside knowledge and inside help and inside access to things. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So
if that's the case, have y'all looked through the Epstein stuff? Have y'all heard or seen anything that's Only thing I was really surprised at, most of it I feel like I knew, but I didn't know that Jimmy Buffett and Epstein were buddies. Did y'all
I didn't know that.
Michael Jackson too.
Yeah, but that Michael Jackson picture
Skeevy.
apparently wasn't. It was not. Anyway,
It was
I'll have to-
AI.
It was from an event, like in a charity event, not from Epstein Island or anything like that. I don't know why it was in there, and I have to go. That could be wrong. Again, just because Jimmy Buffett was in his black book, just because Michael Jackson was in a picture, just because Donald Trump, just because anybody was in a picture does not. I think about politicians all the time. Katie Britt, how many people stop her on the streets and say, "Can I have a photo with you?" You're not going to tell anybody no. You don't know who they are.
Right.
So you can't assume anything. But there are names that repeatedly come up. There are some pictures of Bill Clinton.
Ew.
Bizarre.
Yep.
Disturbing. The flight logs that we've seen for years apparently were all real. John Roberts, I still don't know if that's our Chief Justice or not, but I mean, it's kind of, I've seen him in the pool. He said he was in that
Sussy.
picture. Yeah.
So essentially what I've seen is from the Epstein files so far has just been like supporting what we already know about Epstein.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there hasn't been any, well, we haven't gotten all of the files yet, but the ones that are out have just kind of, yeah, this guy was a bad guy, you know, but it makes you sick to your stomach because there's pictures with victims. Obviously their faces are redacted, but it just kind of adds like a skin to the, like, oh, you know, you're seeing it with your own eyes. So from what it's just been kind of supporting evidence to how bad of a guy Epstein was. But the Bill Clinton pictures, I think that may be, of all of them, I think that those were the most telling in terms of he wasn't with Epstein just to hang out, you know. He was in hot tubs with girls and he was, you know, so. But there's still not all of them have come out, but the ones I've seen so far is just like, hey, you need more evidence. This Epstein guy was a creep and an awful person. Here you go. You know, if you want to see it. So.
And though, what's more, are the people who are making high level decisions for us also super creepy?
Oh,
you know, I mean, like super creepy. But then reading it, thinking through it, part of it though does come back on Americans just completely abdicating responsibility and not kind of digging deeper on, well, what is the purpose of the CIA, and people who are blowing the whistle on them, they're the ones that get in trouble instead of the people doing what they shouldn't be doing. Like, it just leaves so many questions. Like, what's the purpose of it all? But anyway, there's not time to get into that today. But I just wanted to tell you I had questions because I was yesterday years old understanding the beginning of the depth of depravity involved in the whole situation, whether it was the CIA and trades or the people he associated with that have been our leaders or people that, you know, musicians. But you're right. It doesn't mean that they were there and they were buddies. But if you're in a pool with him and girls are in the pool with you, then I'm putting you in a different category.
Well, I think the bigger issue, no. All that is an issue. But the bigger question that we do know is if we can establish that he was a CIA asset, that he was working for at least one foreign government, which we're going to go with Israel, two with the US. What does that mean in the context of how we feel about our government in general? Was there a good reason for the US government, Israel, to employ him? What would a trustworthy reason be? Besides, they just wanted to be able, I mean, my head is like they just want to be able to blackmail and control all of the world leaders, all of our leaders. What is there a legitimate, non-nefarious answer to why the US government would put into play a Jeffrey Epstein character?
I think if we took, I think people probably thought they were helping maintain the homeland, maintain our country, and help. But that never goes well because it's a few people assuming power, stealing it from us, or covering up what they were doing, which they did really well. So old me would have been like, oh, they just meant good. But I think if we look at the history of it, probably pretty nefarious reasons so that they could have money and power and then blackmail people with it so that they would do what they want.
Yeah, the question is absolutely not. No.
There's nothing.
There's no good.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right. There's no good. There's no.
There's anytime I talk CIA, I'm gonna reference John Kiriakou because I listen to him constantly, and I think he's the best CIA voice podcaster out there. He talked about a time that he was in, I don't know if it was like I think he was teaching a class on some sort of, spying or something like that of the sorts, or doing a lecture or something. And he asked the class a hypothetical, if this person, wants a large amount of money, if this guy's a good access, agent for you and is doing a lot of good stuff for America, and he asked for this large amount of money, you think it's a good idea to give it to him. And, half the class rose their hand, and he said, okay, so say again, this guy says, I've done so much good for you. I've been an awesome, partner. I want a kid prostitute. Do you give it to him? And, everybody in their hands, kind of like looking around, and he stops and he goes, absolutely not. He goes, that's a line you never, ever, ever cross. I don't care what information he's given you. I don't care how good he's been for America or how good he's been to. That is a line you never, ever cross. It's like, I don't care what reasoning America, any sort of reasoning of, well, yeah, kids were trafficked, but we had to do it for this reason. It was for the good of America. There's no good reason at all for Epstein to be helping CIA with anything at all, if that is the case, which it looks like it is. So no, there's no good reason. I don't care what you come up with. There's nothing.
No, none.
So what do we do with that
Do with what?
as Americans with that knowledge?
That's the grand question. It's like, what can you do if the people in charge?
We got 30 seconds. Just tell us, JP. Tell us how to handle it.
I think you go and pray, and you pray for America. You pray that these people in charge.
Yeah.
And we stopped giving up because we advocated our responsibility years and years ago when we said somebody else will handle it. And the church was like, nah, doesn't really matter. This is years and years ago. Doesn't really matter. We got to get back into those positions of power, because if we don't, they will. And we've seen how that goes. And that takes a long time and a lot of mapping to get where you can influence things for the good. And then some of the agencies, I think, need to just be done away with.
Is this what we're seeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey and Rand Paul? Like a lot of those that are being run out, are they the ones that won't play the game, or are they the bad guys?
Oh, I don't think they're the bad guys. I think they're definitely not playing the game with Epstein. I question Marjorie Taylor Greene's motives as a whole. I think a lot of it is for political gain. But yeah, I think I trust Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene and even like Ro Khanna that they're not playing the game with that. And Massey is even threatening to bring up impeachment files on Pam and Bondi because she didn't comply with the law. Not all the files weren't released when they were supposed to be. So in terms of this, I think they're on the side of good. Even though I question, Marjorie Taylor Greene's motives, I think she's on the right side on this.
Yeah. I agree.
The what side?
The right side.
Whoa.
He said the thing.
He said the thing. All right. One more segment. Then we've got a Monday down.
So would you rather?
Would you rather? Are you ready?
Come on.
Always.
What kind of question is that?
We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Finally, time. JP, are we doing a lightning round? Are we going to do a okay?
Well,
yes.
Allison wasn't here for the lightning round, so we got to do.
Probably should. We got to do as many as we can. No
some more
questions.
caffeine.
You just have to answer.
So pressure.
First thing that comes to your head, you say.
Can I add no questions?
No.
No, we got to
No
go.
clarifications.
Nope.
Nope. That's the beauty of it. First thing that comes to your head.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
All right. Yep.
Would you rather be able to?
No.
Okay. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals? Animals. Would you rather always feel hungry or tired? Hungry.
Hungry.
Would you rather have the ability to be invisible or to read people's minds? Invisible.
Visible. Invisible.
Would you rather have a
I
knife?
didn't answer.
Oh, I thought you said invisible. Sorry.
No.
This is not very lightning.
Sorry. Okay, read people's minds.
Okay. Would you rather have a knife when you need a spoon or a spoon when you need a knife?
Knife when you needed a spoon.
Knife when you need a spoon.
Spoon when you need a knife.
Would you rather
Go first.
live with a barnyard of animals in your house or live
Yes.
in the barn with the animals? Animals in the house.
Animals in the house.
Same.
Would you rather have two long front teeth like a beaver or no teeth at all? Beaver teeth.
Beaver.
No teeth?
Yeah.
No.
Just two?
Just
Mhm.
beaver. Just you're.
Well, I mean, I'll take two.
Well,
It's better than none.
No. A full mouth with two long beaver teeth
Oh.
or no teeth at all?
Beaver teeth.
Beaver teeth.
It's an awful choice. Neither.
Okay. Would you rather have to use shrimp flavored toothpaste or deodorant that smells like cheese?
She's already tried.
That's what I use every day. The deodorant.
Yeah.
Would you rather have 100 duck-sized elephants or one elephant-sized duck?
Hold on, I got to think about that. Duck-sized elephant.
Give me 100 duck-sized elephants.
Or an elephant-sized duck.
Mm-hmm.
No, duck-sized elephants. I
That'd be
want
cute.
them as my pets.
Yeah.
No, I'll take a big duck.
Would you rather listen to an annoying laugh for a whole day or get tickled for 1 hour?
Oh.
Tickled.
Tickled.
Oh, that's so bad though, because it's like it's miserable, but it's awesome. Okay, I'll be tickled.
Ooh, let's see. Okay. Would you rather eat all your food with your hands or use utensils with your only non-dominant hand?
Non-dominant hands.
Non-dominant.
Would you
That's
ra-
good for brain neuroplasticity.
Would you rather be a kid for your whole life or an adult your whole life?
Kid.
All right, two more. Would you rather a ding sound every time you wink or a pow pow sound every time you make a finger gun?
Like pew pew.
Pow
Oh,
pow.
pew pew pew. That.
Kinda like that.
That sounds.
That's cool.
Okay, one more. Oh wait, sorry. We've already done this one, so I gotta go to the next one. Oh crap. I feel like we've done some of these. Okay. Would you rather be the cowboy riding the bull or the clown who distracts it?
Oh boy.
Cowboy.
Yeah, cowboy.
Let me ride the bull. Yeah.
Because they're
Please.
cooler. I mean, and that'd be scary to, I don't know. It'd be scary to be on top of the bull, but also it'd be scary to be on the ground. I guess if you get, I'm not supposed to do this part, but if you get thrown off, at least I think the bull usually keeps running.
Yeah.
But
it
if he's
does.
running towards you and you're the clown, that's
Mm-mm.
terrifying.
Hey, she did pretty well, JP.
She did.
I'm learning. I'll
That's
do
good.
better next time.
We got a honorary from a fan. Would you rather? I want to know. Would you rather have a fast car or a lifted 4x4 vehicle? Fast car.
Yeah, I'm going fast car.
Can it be
It's
fast
like
and
my
lifted?
dream.
Well, not as fast as a fast car.
Okay. Probably fast.
I got a question.
Yeah,
What can you do in a lifted truck?
it's cool, and you can look
Chris's
upon
truck
everybody.
is way lifted. So is Jared's.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, then you need a ladder and
It's
or
really
like
tall to get in.
a big
but
bar to pull up on.
I never lose him when we're in traffic, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I've always liked fast cars. Remember Jake
Same.
from 16 Candles?
Yes.
Jake Ryan.
Love
his
fast
red
cars.
Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
Always wanted one.
Tomorrow's our last show before Christmas.
I know.
We got the Christmas special tomorrow.
Be
What are we
married
gonna-
and
what's
eat
gonna-
cookies on the air.
Okay, we can do that. We're going to open some presents. We may or may not have costumes.
I've got trivia back there,
You've
our
got-
little card.
You have Christmas trivia?
Well, not necessarily Christmas trivia, but I'll turn it into
We'll
it.
do some news, right?
Yeah, we'll do some
Of course.
news.
Lots will happen overnight. So we'll see you tomorrow.